Hello and welcome to a new episode of the Nose Bros. I apologize for the sporadic posting. I did promise to post a video within a week, and these are going to be, I've got some excuses, and I'm going to list them all right now. One, I made 2 videos, plus this one, so 3 videos in the time since last week. The first one was terrible. I'm still going to post it. I just want to let everyone know in advance that I know it's fucking bad. That's why I waited. The second one was I did a video on 2 pairs of shoes from Solavare, and then thought to myself, I can't post late and then post shoe videos and not tell anybody in advance that shoe videos are coming. So I didn't post those. Then I got invited on a trip, and I love to travel. And the opportunity, I got a young man I coached in football, just graduated, or finished up college. He's 22 years old, and he's moving to Nashville, and he was getting an apartment. He's like, hey, coach, do you want to come help me find an apartment in Nashville? And I'm like, sure, that sounds awesome. And I have a pretty good grasp of geography, and I'm like, I'll get a flight. When are we going? He goes, no, we're driving. And I know where I am, and I know where Tennessee is, and in my mind, I know there's a big distance there. But part of me was thinking, there's no way we're just going to drive a long distance, so it's got to be closer than I think. So I said, fine, I'll just ride with you. 13 hours. Holy shit, that's 13 hours. That is a long travel, like long time in a car. Now, in all fairness, when I went to Thailand, it was 31 hours of travel time. It was actually over 2 days. I left on like the 27th and got there on the 29th. It was bizarre. Hadn't showered, it was a mess. Also, here's a fun fact. When you take someone who you coached in a sport and then you see how they're starting their life and you realize how many mistakes you made, because my first apartment that I had my name on the lease was a basement apartment that I shared with silverfish and centipedes. When I was 22, I didn't have an apartment. I lived in a barracks. When I got out of the Army, I ended up renting a room in an apartment in a city so that I could go to college. And I had a little corner of the fridge to put all my food in. It was partitioned, and a cupboard, one cupboard for all my stuff, all my dishes and food and everything. And like a weird schedule where I could only poop like once a day because they didn't want me to throw the water. I have no idea if that mattered or if they were just, running a psychological experiment on me to see what would happen. So, but still, he rented, and I feel okay giving out his information. He rented a 2-bedroom penthouse apartment in Nashville, Tennessee, right across from Vanderbilt University, less than a mile from Broadway, the busy party street. Floor-to-ceiling windows, apartment complex, like the apartment building has like a recording studio in it, game room with pool table, ping pong table, blah, 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 pools, hot tub, barbecue areas, outdoor, covered with TVs in each one, and a whole bunch of co-working space, offices that you can just use. And I realized I'd made a lot of errors because when I went to college and I was like, I'll be a history major. And then I'm like, wait, what makes less than a history major? I'm like, I'll be a sociology major. And then I did sociology and I was like, yeah, this is good. So luckily, I'm still paying for those mistakes today, years later. Anyway, so today I was going to do a review on a boot that I've owned for about, maybe a year, but I just really started wearing. I wore it once when I got it just to try it out and see if it fit, and then it kind of got lost in the rotation, and then I moved and it kind of got shunted to the side. It was in storage, I got it out, and last week I wore it, and I'm a little annoyed that I haven't been wearing it longer, so we'll talk about it. Other people have already reviewed it, I think, I'm sure, but I'm going to review it too, my own way. So this is the Grant Stone Field Boot in saddle tan leather. It is, Battalassi Carlo Tannery in Italy. This is the Minerva Smooth Leather, and it is stiff. I will give it this. I'm going to do the construction of the boot first, and then I'll get into the particulars. So it is on the Floyd last, which is kind of a roomy last. It has a high sidewall here, so there's plenty of room to wiggle the piggies. Like if you're like me and you're sitting still and you're wearing boots, you always want to see if you've got, piggy wiggle room If you don't, it's frustrating. So plenty of room in here for that. If this is a 13 triple E, I wear a 14E, and I have a little over ½ inch space in the front, so it's plenty of room. I can wear thick socks with it if I want. It's comfortable. I was worried about a little bit of the rub from the 8-inch boot up top here, but it's got this padded collar, which is very nice and very convenient. Let's see, 360-degree flat welts, as you can see here, and very nice stitch detailing, very well done. It's got a wedge outsole. It looks like a Vibram Christie outsole, but it's not, but it feels the same way. So someone's cracked that code, I would imagine. Let's see what else. Oh, Kip leather lining. And then it's a leather insole, midsole, cork filling, steel shank, leather outsole. Then you've got this right here, the wedge sole. It is a solid ass boot. It feels very, very tank-like in construction. It's gusseted up to the 4th eyelet, so you're pretty much water resistant up to about here, which is pretty damn high. Other than that, you probably need a lifeguard to be around the water. So it'll keep most debris out, keep some creepy crawlies out, keep rocks out, keep a lot of stuff out, but still leaves you enough room to slide in and out without having to struggle with your boot to the point where your face turns red and your blood pressure goes up and you start sweating, which is, when you sweat putting your boots on, I'm looking at you, Iron Rangers, it's not a great start to the day. You feel a little swampy for the whole morning. It's not good. Anyway, so about the boots themselves, in the areas that I like to rate boots. Let's first go with aesthetics. It's a mock toe, which I like mock toes. And I specifically like the way this one is designed. It really does sort of draw on that old, field boot kind of style. And I know it is a field boot, so that stands to reason it would look that way. But like, it has a little reinforcing here. It looks like the extra section of leather, which I believe someone cut this open and there's something under there that is not leather, but still it looks good. And it does feel like it's gonna be pretty solid. So if you're like scraping against things, you're walking outside, you're not gonna get this all, ripped up and showing your feet in there. There's some extra protection to protect, extra protection to protect you. That's a good use of the English language. Not an English major in college, folks. So, not a big fan of the laces. I don't hate them, but everything else feels so solid and these just feel so flimsy. But they add to the overall, they're not huge eyelets, so you're not gonna get some big leather laces through there. Also, maybe make it a little bit lighter. I don't know. I'm trying to come up with a reason. You got the two D-rings here up top. So to really crank it tight when you want it to be, secure, tuck your pants in, keep ticks out or whatever. Let's see, so aesthetically, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd give it an 8.5 or 9, a solid 8.5 or 9. And I really think after this patinas, it's gonna be higher than that. So, nice. Construction-wise, scale of 1 to 10, this is a solid boot. I'd give it a 9 for construction. Again, are there things that I'd like to know for sure if this is double layer, but I'm not gonna cut it open. I'm not Rose Anvil, I'm not gonna do that. Maybe I could just watch the video where he does it and find out for sure. So with construction-wise, I'd give it a 9. It's a very solid boot. Price-wise, so I bought these on sale, one of their sales, and it was 20% off. I think I paid $290 something for it, which I do not feel like I overpaid for this at all. In fact, right now on eBay, there's a pair of these in black chrome excel that are 13 triple E's that I think are $280 right now. I'm gonna buy those right after I finish this video. Look at me, that's almost like I'm predicting the future. So if you've been watching those boots and they suddenly disappear, I fucking bought them. This guy right here. So anyway, these are price-wise normally $395 or something like $380. And even that I don't think is overpriced. I get that they're made in China. Again, so are your iPhones. And again, so are a billion Chinese people. And are you saying they're not worth the money? Yeah, you're not gonna say that. You know why you're not gonna say it? Because it's wrong. So price-wise, I think they're worth it. I don't think you're overpaying. And yeah, I'm sure they're making some money over at Grandstone, but it's too late to complain about end stage capitalism. We're living through it now. Comfort-wise, this is a little tricky. If I'm just standing still in these boots right out of the box, they're a 9. They're super comfortable right out of the box. If I'm walking in them, I am fighting a dead cow for movement. As I articulate my foot and ankle through the world, these are very, very resistant to change, which I like because that tells me this is a very thick, stiff leather that's going to age well, and last over time. But it's also a little bit of a pain in the ass when you're first walking around in them. But I can only imagine, and again, I don't want to sound too goofy about patinas, which we've already affirmed that I love, but I really think it's going to make this patina well, like fighting the boots themselves to walk. I think there are going to be a lot of like nice little creases and wear patterns that are going to look pretty cool. So on a scale of 1 to 10 for comfort, I would give it a 7 out of the box, I'd give it a 9 for standing, but that's not what we do in boots, we walk in them. So I'd give it a 7 for walking, maybe average that out to an 8. But I also think that once you break these in, which I might do an update on these at the end of the summer, and I'm gonna wear these in the summer. I'm gonna wear them with shorts. I don't give a shit. I'll wear them to a funeral. I don't care. I will wear these all summer long just to break them in. That's actually my doorman. He hates us and he just revs his engine when he goes outside. So anyway, these are solid, comfortable boots. Good price, great construction. If there were anything I would change about it, it'd be the laces, which I can do on my own. So yeah, I'm going to, like I said, pick up the pair in the Black Chrome XL, and they have a lot of different color, like leather patterns. They have snuff. They have, I don't know if they have the dark burgundy one that they have the brass boots in, and the diesel boots. But if they have that, I'm going to try and grab those too. I don't need them, obviously, but I'm really just feeling inadequate compared to the apartment that a 22-year-old just rented. And I had to spend 13 hours riding in a minivan with him while he smoked blueberry muffin vapes and tried to peer pressure me into developing a nicotine habit at my age, which is essentially just trying to assist me in my suicide, which I was like, no, that's not gonna happen. They smell great, but I'm not gonna smoke them. And they did really smell exactly like fucking muffins, which is, I see how they hook the kids. All right, there'll be 2 videos coming out, one that's really terrible, and one that's about shoes. And this one is being released right after I finish it. I'm gonna release it and buy those other boots. So let's see how that works. Thank you very much. And again, I apologize. I'm just getting back into the rhythm of this, all right? It'll take me a little while.